Back in 2012, when the BMW M135i was the new skid on the block, you could barely pick up a car magazine or glance at a YouTube motoring channel without being bossily told how brilliant the rear-driven hot hatch was. 6 years ago, the M135i really was a game-changer. Despite costing less than £30,000, it brought a premium badge, rear-wheel drive dynamics and more than 300 bhp to a sector that hadn't seen that set of attributes before. It was very good to drive too. And in an instant, a front-driven quarter box all with 200 and something bhp didn't seem particularly clever. In all the fervor that surrounded the M135i at its launch, it was very easy to overlook one or two of its shortcomings, or at least put them to the back of your mind. Several years on, however, and with that early excitement having long since fizzled away, the mood has changed. Today, you don't so much overlook the M135i's flaws as itch to put them right. Flaws? There are some, but not many. The first is that the ride and handling balance was never quite as brilliantly judged by BMW as you would have expected. The car crashes heavily into potholes and sunken drain covers, and yet the body feels loosely controlled on an undulating road. Hit a sharp crest at any decent speed and, for a fraction of a second, you'd swear the rear of the car is about to take off. Job 1, get that body tied down. You might also take issue with the exhaust note and the slightly goofy 1 Series styling, but the only other major dynamic weakness is the lack of a factory-fit limited-slip differential LSD. There was a dealer-fit option, but, statistically, you're more likely to have walked on the moon than had an LSD fitted by a BMW franchise. I have a couple of theories here. For one thing, not equipping these second-tier M performance models with an LSD clearly distinguishes them from BMW's full-spec M cars, which do all have locking differentials. And for another, in many cases, an open differential will actually be safer. After all, 1 spinning wheel probably won't put the car into a slide, but 2 spinning wheels probably will. The advantages of a locking differential compared with an open one far outweigh the drawbacks, though, especially when you don't have any model hierarchies or corporate responsibility to worry about. Better traction, more predictable handling on the limit, power over steer on demand. Job 2, fit an LSD. In our quest to realize the M135i's potential, we teamed up with renowned BMW specialist Birds. The company, based near Heathrow Airport, has developed its own package of upgrades which can also be fitted to the M235i as well as the later M140i and M240i. Its B1 kit, as it's known, includes new springs and dampers, a Quaife LSD and an engine remap, along with a couple of other bits and pieces. Last summer, we bought a 3-door M135i with just under 30,000 miles on the clock for £17,500. The full cost of the B1 upgrade is £6,643 fitted, including VAT and a 24-month warranty, so we've spent £24,143 all in. Incidentally, the upgrades can all be fitted individually. Today, you can pick up a slightly leggier M135i for £14,000 or so. The first job was to get the car handling properly. Working with vastly experienced racing driver James Weaver and his long-standing race engineer, Peter Weston, Birds has developed its own suspension kit for the M135i.